Welcome, everyone. Here we think smart and grow exponentially. Here's what most people don't realize about getting rich. There's literally a predictable path from broke to millionaire. 6 clear stages. That's it. But here's where it gets interesting. 98% of people quit at stage 3. Not because it's the hardest stage, but because they don't even know they're in stage 3. My name is Apex, and I spend way too much time thinking about why some people build exponential wealth while others stay stuck forever. And after analyzing hundreds of financial journeys, I've condensed the entire broke to millionaire path into 6 stages that actually make sense. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which stage you're in right now, what's keeping you stuck, and most importantly, how to move to the next stage before you become part of that 98% who quit. Because look, this isn't theory, this is the real pattern. Let's get into it. Stage 1, survival mode. This is where 60% of Americans are right now, and if you're here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In this stage, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Your bank account hits 0 before your next paycheck arrives. You're one car breakdown, one medical bill, one unexpected expense away from complete financial chaos. Here's what's actually happening. You're spending 100% or more of what you earn. Maybe you've got credit card debt. Maybe you're borrowing from family. Maybe you're juggling which bill to pay this month versus next month. Sound familiar? Now here's what most financial advice gets wrong about this stage. They tell you to just save more or cut back on coffee. That's literally insane advice when you're in survival mode. The only way out of stage 1 is to increase your income, period. That's it. You can't budget your way out of poverty. You need more money coming in. Get a side hustle. Learn a high-income skill. Ask for a raise. Switch jobs. Do whatever it takes to create an income gap where you're earning more than you're spending. Even if it's just $100 a month at first. This is where it really starts. And this is where most people get stuck for decades because they're waiting for permission to earn more instead of just doing it. Once you've got that income gap, even a tiny one, you're ready for stage 2. Stage 2, stability. This is where you've created breathing room, but you're not wealthy yet, not even close. In this stage, you've built your first emergency fund. Maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $5,000. But here's the key. You're no longer terrified of unexpected expenses. Your credit cards are either paid off or you've got a solid plan to eliminate them. You're saving automatically, even if it's just $200 a month. You got basic insurance, you're adulting, financially speaking. But here's where people get comfortable. They hit stage 2 and think, okay, I'm doing fine, I'm stable, this is good enough. And they stay here for 20, 30, 40 years. Listen carefully, stability is not the goal. Stability is the foundation. The people who stay in stage 2 end up working until they're 65, maybe retire with $200,000 saved and hope nothing goes wrong. Meanwhile, the people who understand exponential wealth, they're using stage 2 as a launch pad. Here's what you need to move forward. Keep that emergency fund at 3 to 6 months of expenses, then redirect everything else into stage 3, because stage 3 is where wealth actually begins. Stage 3, investment initiation. And this is where 98% of people quit. Not because it's complicated, not because they can't do it, but because this is where you have to fundamentally change your relationship with money. In stage 3, you're no longer just saving money in a bank account. You're putting money into assets that grow. Stocks, index funds, real estate, a business, things that compound. But here's why people quit. Investing feels scary. It feels risky. It feels like you're giving up control. You put $5,000 into an index fund and the next week the market drops 3% and you think, oh no, I'm losing money, so you pull it out. Or, and this is even more common, you never start at all. You keep saying, I'll start investing when I have more money, or I'll start after I pay off my car, or I'll start next year. Meanwhile, you're watching YouTube videos about investing, reading books about investing, talking about investing, but you're not actually investing. Let me tell you what's really happening. Your broke self is negotiating with your future millionaire self, and your broke self is winning. Here's the math that changed everything for me. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 25 with average 8% returns, you'll have $1.5 million by age 65. But if you wait until 35 to start, you'll only have $670,000. Waiting 10 years cost you $830,000. That's the exponential wealth gap, and that's why 98% of people never become millionaires. They get stuck in stage 3, paralyzed by fear or procrastination. If you're in stage 3 right now, here's what you do. Open a brokerage account today, not tomorrow, today. Put in $100, buy a simple index fund like VTI or VOO. Automate $200 to $500 a month going forward, and never look at the balance for 5 years. That's it. That's the difference between the 98% who quit and the 2% who become millionaires. Stage 4, accumulation. Congratulations, you made it past the quit point. You're now in the top 2%. In this stage, something magical happens. Your money starts working harder than you do. You're maxing out your 401k, you're investing in taxable brokerage accounts. Maybe you bought your first rental property. Maybe you started a side business that's generating $2,000 to $5,000 a month. Your net worth is growing by $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a year, not just from what you're saving, but from compound growth on existing investments. Here's what separates stage 4 from the rest. You're thinking in decades, not months. You understand that the $10,000 you invest today will be worth $50,000 in 20 years. So you're optimizing for your 50-year-old self, not your current self. Most people spend 10 to 20 years in stage 4, building that foundation. And honestly, this stage is exciting. You're watching your wealth grow exponentially. Every quarter, every year, the numbers get bigger. The goal in stage 4, get to $250,000 in invested assets, because that's when something incredible happens.
Stage 5, momentum. This is where wealth becomes inevitable. In this stage, your investments are generating $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a year in passive returns, just from compound growth. You're not even adding new money, and your wealth is still exploding. Here's the game changer. At $500,000 invested, earning 8% annually, you're making $40,000 a year without working. At $750,000, you're making $60,000 a year. At $1 million, you're making $80,000 a year. Do you see what's happening? Your money is now earning more than most people's salaries. You're approaching financial independence. In stage 5, you're making strategic decisions. Maybe you start a business because you can afford the risk. Maybe you buy more real estate. Maybe you negotiate a better work situation because you don't need the job anymore. This is the stage where you go from building wealth to wealth is building itself. And the crazy part is, most people who reach stage 5 get here in their 40s or 50s, and then they keep growing exponentially. Stage 6, exponential wealth. This is millionaire territory and beyond. In this stage, you've officially won the money game. Your investments generate more income than you spend. You're financially free. You work because you want to, not because you have to. But here's what's interesting. People in stage 6 don't stop. They keep building because now it's not about money. It's about impact, legacy, freedom, options. They start new businesses. They invest in other entrepreneurs. They create generational wealth. They give back. They become what I call exponential thinkers. People who understand how to create value that compounds forever. And look, here's the truth. Stage 6 isn't reserved for geniuses or people who got lucky. It's reserved for people who refused to quit at stage 3, who understood the exponential mindset, who played the long game. So here's my challenge to you. Right now, figure out which stage you're in. If you're in stage 1, increase your income this month. Find $100 somewhere. If you're in stage 2, build that emergency fund, then immediately move to stage 3. And if you're in stage 3, the 98% quit stage, make your first investment this week. Not next month, this week. Because here's what I've learned. The difference between broke and millionaire isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's not even intelligence. It's simply refusing to quit when 98% of people do. Look, I'm Apex from Exponential Money Mind. I'm here because I'm genuinely frustrated watching people stay stuck in stages they could escape with just a few strategic moves. So if this hit home, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to keep breaking down the real psychology and mathematics of wealth until it actually makes sense. Drop a comment and tell me which stage you're in right now. Be honest, and if you made it to stage 3 or beyond, tell me what finally pushed you to start investing, because someone watching needs to hear your story. Next video, we're breaking down the 6 types of people who build real wealth, and you're going to discover which type you are. Trust me, this one's going to change how you think about money forever. I'll see you there. Now go execute.